Aida for telling my friend that my daughter isn't shy and that she just doesn't like men? Recently I, M29, visited my friend, MTF25, who for simplicity we can call Maple, with my daughter, F5, who we'll call Nelly, and overall it was a good time. It's been about a year since I've gotten to see her, but we do text fairly often and we had fun hanging out, but Nelly did not want to talk to her during the evening. My wife and I have tried to explain Maple's scenario to our daughter, but the concept of gender and that is just too much for her, which I think is fair. Later that night, Maple and I were texting and she made a joke about how it was cute to see my daughter shy, and I found this comment offensive. Nelly is not shy, and in fact she's very outgoing to everyone but men for whatever reason. As much as I respect Maple, she is still quite early in her transition, which means she isn't very passable, which would make sense as to why Nelly was shy around her, and so I explained to her that my daughter just doesn't like men and that she isn't shy. Maple continued to talk about how it's fine, and in her experience working with young kids, she's a teacher, that it isn't uncommon for them at that age to get shy around other adults they don't know well. Again, I found this comment to be flat out wrong, and I explained that she's never had any problem with her grandmother or with some of my wife's friends, but that she doesn't like men. I then went on to explain that I've tried to explain her gender to Nelly, but she is too young and just doesn't see her as more than a man, as she doesn't appear very feminine. Maple had temporarily stopped talking to me for about a week, and I assumed it was because she was busy with her class, but after asking her what was up, she told me that I had upset her with my comment and that what I said was hurtful. Personally, I think Maple read way too into this, and that it's important that she understand that my daughter is not just shy. Aida for my explanation? YTA. Maple identifies as female. By telling her your daughter is shy around men, you basically told Maple her identity doesn't matter. What's the big deal if Maple thinks your daughter is shy? You're more concerned with being right and hurt your friend. Kids grow out of shyness. Maple's gender identity is not a phase. NTA. In my opinion. From my opinion, you did explain to Maple several times where the issue was, considering you know your child. But Maple saw it from the angle where Maple is a teacher and from information learned. YTA. You pushed that your daughter didn't like men over and over. Then you made a point of saying to your friend who is transitioning that she still looked like a man. You are a horrible, insensitive friend. I wouldn't talk to you either because you're an YTA, and a massive one at that. You just had to keep on mentioning to your friend that your daughter is afraid of men, thereby affirming for your friend that you see them as a man. Those undergoing the process of transition, especially when not in a position to pass as female, really do not need to have their noses rubbed in it as you repeatedly did. So many other ways you could have said it, but you chose the lazy and insensitive way. If your friend never speaks to you again, it's all because of your massive insensitivity and perhaps latent transphobia. Put yourself in someone else's shoes. Imagine how you would feel. YTA. You explained once and clearly Maple did not like that explanation and continued to say that Nelly is shy. This made Maple feel better and was in no way an insult to your child. You should have let it go at that point, but you doubled down, re-emphasizing the gender issue. Forcing a conversation about something that does not really matter was an move because it made Maple feel bad. To continually say that she is a man is rude. You could have said something more neutral, like, you have a deep voice and are very tall, and I have noticed those are things that Nelly seems wary of. Anyway, it sounds like Nelly is shy around men. I am not sure how else to describe that. Just, not liking men, is not a thing unless she had a traumatic experience. Why you take shyness as an insult is odd.